Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Price Sakaya, and this is Chillin with Price Tag. Today, our first guest, the first ever guest, is a very, very special guest. She is the most special guest. Her name transcends time and space. She is a one-of-a-kind woman. She's a very kind woman, but she's one-of-a-kind as well. She's so pretty, she's so wise, she's so smart. She comes from California, which is the coolest place, and her name is Erin Heidrick! Alright!
The timing was perfect.
That one worked. It took us a little long to find that perfect balance, but we found it.
Yay! I like all the compliments. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so now let's switch gears a little bit and go pretend like we're academics. Okay. So we're very smart because we are, and in fact, one of us is, because one of us just got her doctorate.
When the other one of us is
One of the other ones stopped a little shy.
Masters. Master's graduate.
Not quite, but almost. But anyways, what I wanted to start with, well, I just wanted to introduce the first guest of Chillin' with Price Tag. This girl over here.
Yay! Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on the podcast. I'm
Yay.
so happy to start with you. Even though we already did this once before.
Yeah.
But cheers.
This is even gonna be better, so.
There ain't no laws when
Ain't
you're
no
drinking
laws.
laws. All right. So, as I said in our last time, we've already done this, so this is a little bit like deja vu, but we wanted to do a double take.
Yeah.
So the whole point of this podcast is just to hang out, listen to music, and go back and forth. But I wanted to start with an introduction of my guest here. This is Erin Heidrick. She is a bandsembler. She is a vlogger. She is my girlfriend.
Yay!
Which is so cool to say.
Another violinist. A musician.
She's a musician, violinist.
Yeah.
She's the first guest on the. She's a teacher.
Very important.
Yeah, that's almost as important as being the first guest on the Price Tag show.
True.
But she is a one-of-a-kind person, and she has a lot of, I think, promise in this new world of classical meets the real world of people watching, listening to cultural stuff that's on today. So.
Aww.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, I love it. It's really sweet.
But so I wanted to start with asking you, what is a bandsemble?
So the bandsemble, I feel like a broken record because I keep explaining this to people in the exact same way, but I got my elevator pitch down, so I'm just going to stick with it.
All right.
Bandsemble is a classical chamber ensemble meets rock band, and it's led by its own composer. So like with classical chamber music, like the string quartet, all sorts of variations of instruments and small groups playing together pieces by Mozart, or that might be not just Mozart, but I'm thinking about how I would explain this to my mom.
Mazzoli?
Well, that's where the bandsemble comes in. So the bandsemble takes that kind of idea of small groups of classical instruments and then puts a rock music instrument in there, like drum set or like synthesizer, electric guitar, anything that you would see at a rock concert. Just mix it with violin, clarinet, anything. And the most important thing is that the composer plays in the ensemble. So they're writing the music and they're also performing it.
Wow.
So.
And there's that's, I think, the most important feature, because I every time I hear bandsemble, and I've heard other people, I think, have this temptation too. There's a temptation to say, isn't it kind of just like a rock band?
No.
No.
No. I mean, it has its root. I'm passionate about it because I wrote my whole doctoral treatise on it and spent a good 30 pages defending why it is in the classical tradition and not like a rock band.
Mm-hmm.
It exists from like a experimental lineage of other classical chamber ensembles. But like the composer, like everybody, you make the score. Why are you laughing at me?
No, I'm not laughing at you. I had a serious case of deja vu because we just already done
This is like, it's like every time I explain it, I'm like, I've done this before.
But
yeah, it's a classical chamber ensemble and it has the composer in it, and I'm gonna stop now.
No. I like your explanations.
But, yeah, I mean, basically, I really love music that's by ensemble composers.
Mm-hmm.
Ensembles are my favorite, so I knew I wanted to study that for my doctorate and create my own ensemble as part of my treatise.
That was what really stuck out for me is when I saw you on the Instagram. On the gram. And it was, I barely knew you, and you were like advertising. You had this pitch.
Yeah.
But it looked so like you were an influencer.
Oh.
And you were like, it was so genuine,
Yeah.
and you were pitching about your recital coming up.
Yeah, I actually at that point I was trying to raise like $1,000 to commission a piece for ensemble. I wanted to like introduce a new piece into the ensemble repertory, and so I did it through like an Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign.
Yeah.
So it was my little elevator pitch of saying like, thank you so much for supporting me, and I'm almost at my goal. And I mean, doing that kind of video thing of like reaching out to people made the biggest difference.
Mm-hmm.
And like getting to my goal of having a ensemble piece.
Yeah, well, and that's also what started your vlogging, right?
Started my vlogging.
That was cool.
Yeah, that's where it all began. I kind of realized, I can offer, like, I want to offer something to my community. If they're going to give me money to like create a new piece, I want to give them something back other than just the piece. So I thought, a great way to do that would be recording like all of the process of like doing the rehearsals and all the way through to the recital, and it turned into like this vlogging hobby of mine, which I just continued to do. And then I did violin vlogmas where I recorded every day in December, and now I keep doing it. I love it.
It's great. I mean, that's one of the cool things about. I think you can become YouTube famous very soon here.
That would be cool. I mean, I'm just happy to have my 28 subscribers, so but if you want to follow
plug it
you can just find me on YouTube at Erin Heidrick, and I'll be uploading just day in the life of a doctor of music. That's the idea.
So moving forward, what is your plan for vlogs and ensembling and violin and teaching?
Right, I really want to do a little bit of everything. I mean, I spent the last year, it's kind of weird being on the other side of it because I spent so much time and energy like researching all of this information about the ensemble and writing about it, and then it's just over. But I don't feel like I'm done with it yet. So I want to form my own ensemble next year. And I also want to continue doing like cover ensembles where I don't actually have the composer playing in it, but I play their music, because there's just some great music out there that's written by ensembles. And like I love it. I want to play it. So I want to like form my own ensemble and like collaborate with a Tallahassee-based composer who wants to write for an eclectic group of instruments, and
an artist possibly.
And an artist possibly. I've done that before, so I would love to do it. Like anything where
collaborative.
I think that
expression.
Basically, I feel like the future of music, classical music, really depends on like bringing in all of the arts. I don't know. I always just find it way more interesting and engaging when there's multiple mediums used. So.
Well, I mean, I think that I don't know. I think that it's cool, and you've got some people you posted on FSU social media.
Yeah, so I have some
stuff in the
people.
works.
Yeah, it's in the works. So I gotta get moving on that.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm teaching. I'm a Suzuki teacher, so I teach little kids
And you
how
had
to
a
play
good
violin.
group class
Had a
today?
good group class. Nobody dropped their violin, so it's a successful day. And I want to like keep performing with orchestras. And what else am I missing? Vlogging. Just doing everything I can to like have a career as a musician.
Yeah.
In Tallahassee. I love Tallahassee. I think I didn't expect to. I actually kind of hated it when I moved here. But it's grown on me so much, and like now
I think
like I just feel like it's such a amazing like hidden gem of a music community.
Yeah. So what do you think about all these protests going on?
Why would you ask me that?
I'm sorry. I felt so shitty. I feel like this has been an
I-
unnatural interview process that like
You
I
just
don't
need
feel.
to
I needed to get
mess it
real.
up.
I
Okay.
needed to mess it up
Okay,
so that we can
so-
just get real.
No, I mean, people absolutely have a right to protest, and I'm
That's
glad that.
bullshit. No.
Oh gosh.
I'm kidding.
I mean, I'm glad I keep driving by protesters, and
Mm-hmm.
everything I've seen has looked really like safe
Safe and sound.
and peaceful. So it's not riots; they're just protests, which I think is good.
Yeah.
I think everybody has. Well, now I feel like I'm getting. You put me in this.
I'm sorry. I'm
controversial-
sorry.
I'm just gonna say.
We don't
I
have
feel
to
like
use this one,
everybody has like their own strengths, and I mean, I don't feel like my strengths are necessarily in like being a protester. I think that there's ways that I can do it other than standing outside.
Mm-hmm.
But I like totally respect people who do that. But I really want to make a difference with like the youngest generations of children. You know, like I think that there's so much power in shaping our world through like what we teach our youngest generation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm incorporating like more a larger like repertory of pieces by Black composers, and that's gonna just be like something that we all do and we all learn about. We learn about these composers and their struggles, and talk about just how important it is to like play the music of these people of color, and I just want to like teach them to be good humans. It's like my main goal in my life. I think that that's really playing up my strengths as like a person and a teacher. That's what I think, where I think I can make the biggest difference.
Yeah. I was thinking about it today, actually, and I was thinking about your approach to this thing, about like, well, what can I do, and how can I actually make a difference? And I started thinking about like, okay, what, like, we're human beings. We're problem solving, right? Like, this is what we do. We problem solve. We have it, like, we go through life.
Yeah.
And we try to figure out a way like to go move forward. My thinking was, okay, we got a problem. Because I totally agree. I keep seeing all the videos of like the cops like being assholes, you know.
Yeah.
And what I was actually thinking is like, why don't we? This is like, I've had experience with police.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure like everyone's had experience with police. They're not usually very nice, and I'm sure they can be pretty mean in other circumstances. What I was thinking is like, what if you had like, in order to, this may sound so stupid, but what if you had like a policeman pulls somebody over, right? And you know they usually have their partner with them.
Yeah.
What if the job of the partner was to be like essentially like a lawyer for the person who's being detained? So like you have to actually, so you kind of like, because what we're dealing with is like a human problem, people in the human condition.
Yeah.
So like, how do you figure out?
Like it's 2 against 1 essentially.
Yeah, it's
like,
always 2 against 1, and
you're the person who's being.
Yeah, and like what you have is like, I think they actually do this where it's like good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
But good cop, bad cop is always about fucking over the person.
Whoa, explicit rating.
Sorry.
No,
This
okay.
is not for children.
It's it's okay.
I'm learning though, because on
we got our
YouTube,
White Claws.
we got the White Claws.
Yeah.
And this has taken a crazy turn. I don't know why I think it was because I was asking you the same questions.
Asked me.
And I thought, how crazy would it be if I just asked you? And then I just did.
No, it's okay. I mean, I feel comfortable saying what I can do.
Yeah.
But
I think this is actually could be an interesting idea, because like you need somebody to police it in real time. That's where the problems happen. Like the laws are okay, because it's the enforcing of the laws.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the cops are jerks usually.
Yeah.
Not all. I mean, I don't think all cops are jerks. I'm sure there's some cops that are nice people, but like in general, there seems to be a problem. And as human beings who are problem solving, let's figure out like a way to, okay, what do we do after these protests finish? Something has to be done if you want to actually change it. So why not like put like a lawyer cop in the car with the other person, where it's their entire job to represent the person being detained. Obviously, it's not going to work in like bank robber situation, like Reservoir Dogs, and they're shooting at each other. But like,
sure, but in a situation
where you got somebody being detained, like, have somebody with authority who has the right to sit, like, who not only the right, but has the
objective,
the responsibility to, as part of their job, to look after the person, the civilian. I mean, after all, it is to protect and serve. Like, that should be, ideally it should be both, but it's hard to trust because power corrupts.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think the power thing
but
it's, that's a really interesting idea.
I was like thinking about it today. I was
really
practicing. I was like, what can I do? Like, cause I don't want to like.
You know, like I don't really care about fixing my intonation.
No,
I
don't.
On the music, I'm gonna think about it.
I'm gonna think about it. It's hard.
I'm gonna solve the world's problems instead while I practice.
This is look. I think I'm at my most brilliant when I'm practicing. Not because I'm like brilliant at playing violin, only because like my mind
you're creative.
My mind is like working as hard as it can at the best thing that I do.
That's
so
really interesting.
That's
I like
when I have
it.
some interesting ideas.
I've never thought about that. That's a really interesting point.
Like put more lawyers in the police. But like as I say that and think about it, it's like it sounds like just horrible bureaucracy that could seep in. So there's always the
I mean, but what's working now isn't working.
That's not working.
So.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's taken a little bit to think about this, but like obviously we can't abolish the police force like that's so unrealistic and ridiculous. But like
there has to be
some reform or some change to it. I think in some places, and I'm sure there's some communities that are policed well. But anyways, I didn't want to get off on this crazy tangent.
This was gonna get into like. It's probably my weakest area as like a human is like being politically like
look,
just up to date.
We don't have to post this at all, but I felt like I was being so stale asking you the same questions that I asked before.
No, you should keep it in then. Keep it in. Be authentic.
Yeah.
I don't think
it's too radical.
Don't hurt him in the comments, people.
Oh, you can give me your worst.
Don't hurt me in the comments, people.
Stay away from my baby, though.
Not me. Please.
It's like you're complacent because you're listening to him.
I know.
You're part of the problem.
You can't win no matter what you say or what you don't say, so you're gonna offend somebody.
But that's what I was thinking about. It's like, man, I haven't really posted at all because I don't really want to be too reactive on it because I don't want to say something stupid. But
I'm gonna just keep interrupting. Sorry.
Go for it.
No, I think that there's like it's easier to communicate what you actually mean like verbally.
Yeah, I believe this.
And maybe this is your space to like not completely, but people can hear from the music.
Right, but I actually do have an interesting segue into that when we're ready. Well, because you mentioned
start with some protest songs.
You kind of, I don't know about protest songs, but you mentioned music by Black composers.
Yeah.
And some of my favorite music of all time is the blues.
Yeah.
Which is the most, like, to me, is the most soulful stuff. I don't know about, like, I always make this comparison whenever I listen to blues. It's very similar, I think, to playing Bach. Because there's something so earthy about it. And so, like, universal.
Yeah.
I don't know. And, It's like when I listen. There's a guy called named Robert Johnson. He's like they call him sort of the king of the Delta blues is what he's called because he was lived in like the 30s to the 40s, And basically, the whole myth was that he was the guy who sold his soul to the devil so that he could learn how to play.
Yeah.
Like everyone said he was terrible initially, and then he like left for a number of years and came back and was like all of a sudden really good at playing guitar. But he had these songs called like his most famous one is Crossroad Blues, and it's about this guy who goes down the crossroads to hitch a ride, and he's worried about being assaulted by like the KKK or like by like so it's very applicable in these times. I actually had a way of working around it, like in bringing this towards the front, because it's let's be honest, like it's on everyone's mind. I feel like it's wrong. That's why I put it in with the question, because like midway through I feel like it's wrong not to address it. Yeah, and I don't know what I can do. I'm a privileged white kid, like I don't know, whatever, but like I think it's not a crazy idea to put like a lawyer in a cop car, because I mean everyone says like don't fight the cop, just always do what the cop says, and then you can fight it later in court. But that doesn't work for a lot of people, and I think that's at the heart of it. It's like when black people go out and they get pulled over, just because they piss off a cop, like a white person can piss off a cop, doesn't mean the cop can go apeshit and start throwing them on the ground like cops do this all the time. They cross the line between what's legal and not.
Yeah.
And the message has to be for everybody, but especially for, or like not especially for black people, but like especially for black people right now.
Yeah.
Like you should be more aware, and you should abide by the law, and the law protects these people just as much as they protect everybody else. They should. Like it's written in a way that is blanket, like protects everybody.
Yeah. So
I think the problem is you're really dealing with the human condition.
Right.
No,
you did such a good job. I like agree completely with you. So I don't even want to like add anything else because I can't. I can't make the words come out as like eloquently as you can. It's my problem.
I had no plan.
I love it though.
Absolutely no plan on talking about this stuff.
But maybe this is what you're like supposed. Maybe this is what you're supposed to do. You've been like very conflicted about.
I have been very conflicted about it.
Like sharing, and I think that there is something that is much more human about a dialogue between two people, and maybe you have it with more people.
Yeah, maybe.
The
root of it is I'm so scared to have it with other people, because people are so divided on this thing, and people are so I believe we think so in terms of like red versus blue, because it's just the way we've operated for 200 years.
Right.
So like I think people when they're talking to you or when you're posting online, they're trying to get a sense. Online is the worst.
Yeah. They're
trying to get a sense of, okay, are you red or are you blue? Like when I think now it's like there's a little bit more nuance to what people believe. You can see a lot of people. I've seen a lot of conservatives like in full support of the protests, which is something that you wouldn't have seen like 2015 or so. So it's like I think people are shifting, and I think it's actually a good opportunity. I think it's a wonderful opportunity to actually unify and come together on something we all agree with. So what's the one thing we all agree with? Is that video that was wrong. Yeah.
Nobody should
like
ever.
No one looks at that video and says, well, you did something wrong. I think it's something like 96% actually agree that was terrible.
And the other 3% hit the wrong button when they voted.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There is also with an error rate of 3%. So it's like it's
nice.
It's as unanimous as it can be in a country that's this divided right now. So it's something that I think we should constantly be looking for the things that we agree on, and but I think it's pretty clear most of us agree that that's not right, and that needs to change. Like that cannot happen. But man, with that in mind, what kind of music were you thinking about playing? I know I said make it fun and crazy at first, but now I feel like so free to just do whatever you want.
I feel like I need to like address like
What?
The previous podcast attempt, which was successful in some ways, right?
Yeah.
But you said that I played too depressing of music.
I didn't say you played too depressing of music. I said the first song you chose was kind of a downer.
Yeah. Well, I was looking through my Spotify music, and I kind of get the feeling that all of my music might be a downer. I don't know, I'm just like really emotional when it comes to music.
Well, it's also...
But I did find one. I kind of was going through my playlist, and I was thinking of like, I kind of want to like go take you through like my personal journey of like music. Like,
sure.
So like maybe taking it back to like happy song from high school. I don't even know if it's considered happy, but it's an upbeat song. So should I start there? Is that...
Yeah, if you want. I mean, happy is good. I feel I'm sorry. I threw you such a curveball with this thing just now. So like, I don't know if are you feeling happy right now? What are you feeling right now? What's the vibe? How are you chilling?
I think I know what song I'm gonna play.
Can I play you mine first and be a bad host?
Fine.
Well, no, all right. With
no.
With an answer like that.
Okay, I have a question. Should I pick a song based off of what you play, or do you want me to like just play a song I like?
I think you should play whatever you want.
Whatever I want.
I think. Play
you know
what
what?
you're gonna play.
You go. Maybe I'll feel more inspired if I hear your song.
I don't know. You mentioned this thing of like, I think I gave you a wrong impression of like picking songs beforehand.
Yeah.
Like I think that's one way I could do it. This is our first episode, really, so like I don't know.
Second attempt,
first episode. Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, we got into some pretty deep stuff just now. Pretty crazy shit. So, but
I kind of like this one better though.
It's an interesting one. I just felt so weird about like doing it over again. Like I was feeling this vibe of like I'm trying to recapture a moment because I had enjoyed the last podcast. I really liked how we started it, but that worked for that moment. You know, like we're in a different moment.
We're in a different moment.
So with that in mind, that's why I feel like
it feels weird to post the one where we were in a different moment.
I don't even know about posting. I feel okay with posting it, but in terms of like trying to recapture that, like I'm asking the same exact questions I asked you before. You know.
Yeah, but I kind of wanted to like plug myself as the ensembler.
Well, we'll plug you after. That's
the thing. Explain it to people so they knew what was going on.
Well, see, the idea is like if you would come in, like after like 4 episodes and we had you back, then you'd be able to plug just the same. It'd be like this is my follow, like maybe towards the end or beginning.
Sure.
Probably beginning is better to plug actually.
Enough chit chat. Let's listen to some music.
All right. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first? I feel like you want to go first.
I don't really want to go. Well, I don't know.
Okay, that means you do want to go first. Go for it.
I feel like you might look bad if you go first.
Okay. All right.
Do you want me to look it up on your phone because I don't have my Bluetooth connected? Okay.
That's crazy. I cannot believe you did that line of questioning.
I can't believe you played Darude Sandstorm for my intro of all the songs to play.
I was really running out of material. There was some good ones, but it was like, I don't know. It just wasn't quite.
Okay, so I feel like, you know that SNL guy who's like, do you love clubs where what's his name? Are you looking for a Stefan?
Yeah.
So I feel like Stefan, because I'm about to ask you a couple questions. Do you love a man whose voice sounds like Kermit the Frog when he sings? Do you like a little bit of a hey when you listen to your music? Do you want so many people in your band that you can't even tell like who's actually in the band? Because then I have a song for you. You ready? We're taking it back, y'all.
You're taking it back.
To 2004.
Oh.
Do you know the song?
I don't know.
You can control the volume because,
no, it's good. A lot is good. Yeah.
You tell me if it needs to go higher or lower.
I'm not sure yet. Your discretion is used on that. Okay. Killers?
No, but similar vibes.
Okay.
Yeah, similar. Another band I loved during high school. This one was
I love the Killers.
my number one favorite band in high school.
Uh,
So I'm going to determine how good of a boyfriend you are based off of that.
number one favorite band
During high school. It's okay. I don't think I've mentioned them that much.
Who's the ones? Who's the one song that is science? The scientist. There's something about science. Because weren't you president of the science club?
No!
You're a doctor or something. Wait,
I was in the
you're
medical academy.
You're the same thing. Come
And I
on.
wasn't the president of it, I was just in the program.
You're like VP, Secretary of State for the. All right, well, tell me a little bit about this song. What do we got going on here?
This is by the band Arcade Fire.
Arcade Fire.
Love this band.
Okay.
Give me an emo song with like a wobbly voice, a little bit of Kermit the Frog, and like
I'm not hearing the Kermit. I'm not hearing that.
There's like a little bit of a dance beat behind it, which is why I thought maybe it would work. A little sad sounding, but also like
it's a little sentimental.
A little sentimental. I love
like that style.
Nostalgic, feeling nostalgic during music.
So
and the lyrics are just so poetic, where you don't know what they mean really, but.
Well, what are they saying?
You change all the lead sleeping in my head.
Huh.
As the day grows dim, I hear you singing a golden hymn.
It sounds a little like something I would play on my like last day of like graduation.
Yeah, you're like driving home in your car, like you got your like the back of your car like all packed up.
All packed up, ready to roll.
Yeah, and you're like going down the highway. What are your thoughts about this? Your honest thoughts.
Well, I'm trying to remember what my vibe of Arcade Fire is.
I have a reason why I chose this.
Okay, why did you choose
Because
this?
my love of the band ensemble started with this band.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
In high school.
They're not a true band ensemble, they're like a band. But they have violin in there. They have they combine instruments, right?
Okay, so let me put you a little bit on this then. The White are they not a band ensemble? If they have classical instruments and they're
they're more influenced by like rock groups than not. Also, like if we want to get technical, they don't play it off of a score. There's no like written record of it, like in classical notation. It didn't start from a score.
I feel like I feel like you're like not giving rock artists enough credit. No, it's okay.
I wrote my treatise about this.
I know, but like I think if you could like if you go to Beethoven Company,
yeah,
you could buy like a guitar book that has written notation of like their stuff and get it like scored.
Yeah, but like it's after the fact, right? It wasn't like originally like I'm gonna sit down and write this Beatles song for acoustic guitar. And,
I see. Yeah.
You know what I mean? The thing is, like, it's like I'm talking like classical trained composers coming out of like conservatories.
It's mostly
bands.
heavily influenced by classical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you have to look at like these. Well, I shouldn't say. Like, they didn't go to music school.
What if they did?
I think one of them might have. So. Sorry,
Damn.
I love you guys. If you're watching.
Sorry, Arcade Fire.
Will and Regine, I love you.
Hit that subscribe button.
Anyways, that is my song.
Okay, well, are they kind of like known for like a trippy element?
Yeah.
Am I thinking of another band?
They're just like indie rock, like
indie rock and roll to me. You know that one by the
No.
Killers? Oh man, gosh.
Do we have to listen to it?
You don't want to listen to it?
I want you to pick what you were gonna pick, anyways.
Well, I was gonna pick something else, but I was sort of maybe headed that direction though. Because that's what I like about this is like it forces you to like adapt.
Yeah.
So you choose one, I gotta figure out one that goes.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Cause this is the other one that got me thinking. I get these two mixed up all the time. I don't know if you like the song "Chillin." I gotta go to my Chillin playlist. By the way, fun little fact. Chillin's price tag comes from the fact that I've got all these playlists on my Spotify called Chillin, and I just want to brag for just a minute or so here, because it started out in high school when my brother, he said, you should get up on Spotify, you can make your own playlist. And I put it in there, and the goal for Chillin was always, if I'm ever on a date, I want to be able to just hit shuffle and like be chill with it, like feel like okay, comfortable.
Going on dates with other girls?
It was in high school, baby. I was exploring my no.
I'm joking.
That's crazy. I'm not the one who was gonna be with Joe Biden. But anyways, I digress. I was Chillin playlist.
Chillin.
That was what started with Chillin, the playlists. But basically, what happened was I made this playlist called Chillin just so that I could like feel like secure in myself.
Right.
In front of females, because they scared me in high school. They did. Like, you guys are scary. How do you act in front of a pretty girl? Like, it's like really weird. I'm having trouble right now. Like,
aww.
You know? But it's true, and every guy deals with this. I don't care who you are. Well, I don't know. Maybe like the cool douchey bags.
Douchey bag. The queen of this douchey.
Cool douchies.
I love that.
No, but basically what I'm getting at, I'm trying to tell a story about my Chillin playlist. I got to over 2,000 on Chillin 1. And so I was like, well, I think I should make another one called Chillin 2. Anyways, long story short, I'm up to Chillin 5 now. And I think we can all just give ourselves a round of applause for that.
Maybe like 10,000, somewhere around there, songs that you've already like.
Yeah, it's about, well, it's probably a little under 10,000 because like some of them stop at like 1,800 or so.
That's still
but
a lot.
It's around there. And
impressed. Very impressed.
So I was like, well, that should be part of the fun. Is like I've got all these weird, all kinds of weird. It got to like the whole point of going on dates became super weird because I started throwing everything in there. I was just like, no, I'm comfortable with this. I'm comfortable with this.
Funny.
And like the more comfortable I got, the more I was like, okay, this is just who I am. Like I just like stuff.
Yeah.
And then I found baby.
That's right.
That's right. All right. So all that to say, I need to find this one song that I think. Oh no. See, I thought it was in Chillin 5. It's in Chillin 4. Methinks. All right, just a minute. Okay, you might know this. You might not.
This is The Grudge.
I get this band constantly mixed up with Arcade Fire, and I don't know why.
You think you're so radical.
You know this?
I think you are a star.
What do you think of when you hear this?
Like a teenage boy in his room, like making a little mixtape, like. So I'm sorry. I'm actually intrigued. I'm trying to see if I recognize it. It's crazy.
It's a little nuts.
It's a lot of parts to it.
Turning into a poor man's downtrodden.
I feel like it's oddly relevant.
I know those circumstances make you wanna jump.
I don't know who this is.
This is.
But he has a similar voice in a way.
Yeah, they also kind of like.
A little bit like Hermit Frog mixed with David Bowie.
Yeah, they kind of remind me of the Red Hot Chili Peppers too.
Yeah.
I think they're probably very similar. This is the Flaming Lips.
The Flaming Lips, I've always heard of them. I've never listened to them.
I'm not familiar with them at all.
Yeah.
This is probably the only song I know of theirs because it popped up on a Discover Weekly playlist,
Yeah.
and I was like, it's gotten to the point where I just throw everything from Discover Weekly into Chillin. So it made its way on there.
There's so many elements to it.
But I like the song.
I kind of like it too.
It's a very interesting like.
It's funny that you picked that one based off of mine because like I always see like Flaming Lips as a recommended kind of band to look into.
Well, that's why. I'm sure some of this is like subconscious because we always see like,
Right.
oh, if you like this, you might also like this.
Right.
But I wonder why. Are they in the same genre? They must be in the same kind of genre.
Yeah, I wonder if they existed in the same. Where are they from? Maybe they were in the same area, or like. Sometimes it's like, oh, if they're all like New York people or in the same place at the same time, then you're getting influenced.
Yeah.
Just like classical composers are.
Flaming Lips. They're really wild. I know that. They're from Oklahoma City.
They're from Oklahoma City. That's crazy.
Let's get into your background a little bit. Where did you go to school? Sometimes.
I went to Oklahoma sometimes. Well, I'm from California, but I went to my undergrad in Oklahoma in Stillwater, which is like a college town. But
how far is Stillwater from Oklahoma City?
I feel like it was like an hour, 15 minutes ish. It was pretty close.
Wow.
That sounds familiar. I think I've heard this before too. That they were from there. Maybe I was crazy, but that's so funny.
Let's see.
Go Oklahoma.
The Flaming Lips is
Love
an
me some
American
Oklahoma.
rock band formed in 1983 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The group recorded several albums and EPs on an indie label, Restless, in the 1980s and early 1990s.
Wow, they're older than I thought they were.
No.
I thought they were like.
Okay, I think it's your turn. I didn't mean to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, so should I pick something based off of that vibe? Would that be a fun thing to do?
If
or
you
should
want.
I just change the vibe?
I think look, the part of the fun is like you
I
can
need
totally change the vibe.
guidelines.
No, this is all open ended, so you
It
can
is?
you can choose whatever you want.
Okay.
But I think it's good to have a agreed upon starting point.
Ooh, I think I have a good one
Okay.
actually. I want to take it to like a little bit of a gentler side.
Okay.
I need to get
Yeah,
out
that
of
was
my
pretty. That
playlist.
was kind of aggressive.
Yeah, that's the main. Like I'm reacting to that, like ooh. Wait, I'm not in the right play. How does one technology? Oh my goodness. Okay, search. Okay, we got it. Don't worry, people.
Okay. All right. Patience. Patience is virtue.
Okay, so I love this song, and I think part of the reason why it's got a little ensemble connection.
Hold on. I totally heard you say that as mansamble.
It's got a little ensemble in it.
And I just
It is
pictured
a
bunch
man
of,
singing.
I immediately just envisioned when you said mansamble, I just envisioned like a bunch of people at like Chippendales jumping around.
On that note,
Mansamble.
This is. I mean,
Mansamble.
maybe you'll understand why I have like ensemble vibes from this.
Mhm.
Think mixing of classical and rock worlds. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No looking. Can you guess the composer? Can you guess the band? I'm sure you've heard of them before.
This is indie, correct?
Yeah.
Very indie. Wow, he sounds like something from like. He reminds me of something, but I can't for the life of me think of.
I think you'll know the band when I mention it.
Oh my god, I get a little bit of a Radiohead vibe. In his voice. Tom York, I should say, actually. I get like a Tom York-y vibe.
And Spotify it says fans also like Arcade Fire, so they got me. they
I
nailed
mean,
me.
they got you figured out.
They got it figured out. This is what makes me think ensemble, because you have like funky elements and then let's add a trumpet in there.
Mm.
Like something that's not, I wouldn't kind of consider, well, maybe a little mariachi kind of vibe, but
I like the mariachi kind of vibe.
me too.
Yeah, I dig on that. But what is...
I would say it's a band incorporating elements from the ensemble.
Mm. What is?
Or should I tell you who it is?
Yeah, who is
This
this?
is Beirut.
Babe Ruth?
Beirut.
I had no idea he did stuff like that.
Beirut.
Babe Ruth. Actually, I think there is a band called Babe Ruth.
This is not them. This is
This is
Beirut.
not them. But they have a similar vibe, which is weird. I don't know. They might. They got like kind of mariachi thing. Can I see them?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I exited it out. Sorry.
Well, no, it's
You
okay.
can figure.
Oh, Beirut.
Beirut. Sorry. Hard T.
I made it sound like it was two different.
Beirut.
Babe Ruth has a song called The Mexican. And it's got a. Oh, is that problematic?
Maybe not right now.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Because, you know, yeah. That's crazy. Man, I am torn between what I should move the vibe towards. Maybe I should just chill.
It's not chill.
I think that's what my favorite thing about this whole thing is. It's just like, it's chill. That's what this. I think this world could use a little bit more of that right now.
The world could just use a little bit of price tag. Maybe you should explain why your name is Price Tag. Like, why not Price? And for this Chillin' with Price, why is it Chillin' with Price Tag?
Whenever I went to a music festival, or it really started in Brevard at 2013, my first year. I started going around introducing myself. Every time I said, "Hi, my name is Price," people would say like, "What is your name?" Like Bryce?
Bryce?
Christ? And they were like, you know, and so I started saying, "Hi, my name is Price," like a price tag.
Yeah.
And I kept on doing that, and it became like a kind of a little bit of a like an inside joke meme for myself. Just be like, "Oh, my name's Price," like a price tag, and people started calling me Price Tag. So like in at Brevard, that was such a fun year. But it was just it was just like I liked that name. I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. Like if my nickname is Price Tag.
Yeah.
And
It's time. It's
sorry.
time.
It's timer. We don't want to.
It's not timer. It's a song. It did kind of sound like didn't that sound kind of like an iPhone like?
Kind of did. Can we keep on listening?
I love that song too.
Oh shoot! I gotta go to the doctor. This timer's going on. Okay. What do I want to play now? I have so many. I feel like
this is a good one that you can change direction.
Can I change direction here?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna change direction.
Change direction.
You know what? I'm gonna get a little bit serious here, cause yeah. Let's see what we got here. Where is I used to have
I feel like I should entertain your guests.
Well, you probably Well, I just want to take it a little bit more chill.
More chill.
A little even more chill.
Wow. Slow that heart rate down.
Maybe a little bit. Oh, maybe not. Maybe more sad. Crazy.
Ooh, I love give me a sad song anytime.
Okay. This is crazy.
Oh yeah.
This morning I do. You drank me red.
It's crazy.
You said, honey, girl, you know it's red. I got a letter this morning. How do you drink it red?
This guy's.
What are the lyrics?
I got a letter this morning. How do you reckon it read?
I call the girl you love is dead.
The girl you love is dead. Crazy.
I grabbed up my suitcase, took out down the road. When I got there, she ran on a cooling board.
Because this guy used to be a preacher. They call him Sunhouse. He's like a legendary Delta blues guy. And he started playing the blues I mean, you always play the blues, but this is like there's this weird thing that happened before like the 60s. Like in the early 50s, blues was like a big thing, and all these British kids kept listening to it. All these white kids in Britain, they loved it. They kept on eating it up. Like early 60s, Beatles, Cream, and like Rolling Stones, like these kids just liked blues, and it was like they were getting into that Elvis rock and roll stuff, and they straight up appropriated it. Like that's exactly what it was doing. They didn't have any expertise, like they didn't have any they didn't know how to do it the right way, but they just liked it. They were like, it was appealed to them, and it was this weird thing that happened because the British invasion happened in all like the psychedelic. You got Beatles, Hendrix, you got like Zeppelin in there and Rolling Stones, and they brought that back to the States, and it became really popular, like this culture wave that just swooshed in. And then all of a sudden, because of that, all these old blues guys that were washed away in history started to have some crazy revival in the 70s. So like you can find Sunhouse's recordings from like way back in like the 50s.
Yeah.
And then you have him like doing a show live in like the 70s. I need to be quoted on this because
it's all good.
but a lot of them were that way, where it's like this, they had this crazy revival. But
wait, so what are the lyrics? He got a letter.
yeah, he says, I got a letter this morning, how do you reckon it read? I got a letter this morning, how do you reckon it read? Said, hurry, hurry, the girl you love is dead. And he said, I packed up my suitcase, went on down the road. When I got there, she was laying on the cooling board, like where you would, kind of identify, stuff like that. And, but it's interesting because I think his wife died from like the KKK. Yeah. So it's like, there's this like sense of like pain that's in this stuff. Because that's what it's all based off. It's like when you're feeling the blues, all of them talk about it. All these blues guys, they said it's just a state of being. It's like you're just, when you feel so down in the dumps that you just, nothing else will do other than the blues.
Yeah.
And it's something about that, like you say something once, then you repeat it, then you put like a period on it. That's what the 12 bars, it's like you got the 4, 4, and the 4. I just love that. I feel shitty. I was talking all over that.
No, I mean I feel like it helps to understand it better when you have somebody who's like more of an expert. I don't know anything.
I should have prepped
really.
it more, but it's I
got
blues
the
music.
like the aesthetic of it is like visceral pain. You can feel. Yeah. You can feel what they're saying.
What I like about it too is where I equate it with Bach or solo Bach, especially, is that it's just a guy and his guitar singing, and like a lot of times in that Mississippi Delta, like arguably one of the poorest places in the States, Mississippi, and I mean it's like that Delta River, something about it, like I've never really been there. I went to New Orleans one time, and I drove through. I think I drove around. I didn't know where I was when I was driving, but I saw the sign, "You're now in Mississippi," and as soon as I saw you're in Mississippi, I was like, perked up, like, because I was like,
put your playlist on.
I feel like it should be a mecca, like kind of like go to like what do they call it when you do when
pilgrimage.
The pilgrimage. That's the one. That's the word I was looking for. But I mean, there's just such cool thing. Like when you listen to that stuff, there's like so much culture in it because they're talking about the towns.
Yeah.
These little towns that are probably just as small as they ever were.
Yeah.
but there's something that's so like Gershwin talks about it when he not Gershwin, Dvorak talks about it. Same difference. But I was so happy when I was in my class one time because we had an assignment where we had to read something Dvorak wrote about the New World or whatever, and he was talking about it. He said people are constantly looking for the new sound that's gonna define this amazing place. And he said the truth of it is it's really in the hustle and bustle of the streets, yes, but it's also in the cotton fields with the with the black people, the people who are, like he said, this is the American song, because I think he picked up on it that there's much more like soul.
Yeah.
And that's part of that. The defining thing about America is really this constant reconciling that just the brutal and awful decision to rip somebody from their home and to bring them to some other place and force that that. I think for a long time we have that's at the heart of all this stuff, and it's wrong, and it's but
and you hear it
in
the music.
It's impossible not to hear that.
Yeah.
That's why I love that stuff. Just I don't know, in times of struggle for me and my and any problems I've ever had,
when baby leaves the house.
When baby leaves the house. It's but a lot of times that's what I go to. It's like when I'm feeling very existential and down,
wow,
there's something.
Okay.
It's the blues.
That makes me know exactly what I'm gonna play for you next.
Right.
It was how am I gonna follow that? But now I know what I'm doing.
Back on track.
Mm-hmm. I have something for you. So this. Sorry.
I'll just play with R2D2.
Yeah, you just. Okay, I got it. Okay, so I'm gonna preface this. This is a song by Missy Mazzoli, who is a bandsamble composer, and she wrote this for Newspeak, which is not her bandsamble, but it is basically a bandsamble. It has electric guitar and I can't remember all the instruments, but I think there's violin in it, clarinet.
This isn't
there
the
might
one
be
we
drum
listened to
set.
last time.
I don't think so. No, this is different. But she wrote this, I can't remember when, I'd have to look it up again, but it was a reflection on troubling things that were happening in America, and it's her reaction to that. I have to look up her quote about it. It's really good. I'll look it up. Can I play it? Start it?
If you want to look it up.
I would love to look it up right now, actually.
Yeah, look it up before. I felt.
Is it okay if I play it while
we
listen?
That too.
We can look. There's something about the intervals where I hear pain. It's almost like the slides are closest we can get to a human voice sign. That's what I think.
Yeah. Interesting.
And it's such a simple melody, but it's kind of uneven, right? And a little meandering.
Yeah.
I think there's some marimba in there. I found the program note whenever you're ready.
Yeah, whenever you want.
So this is called In Spite of All This by Missy Mazzoli, and she composed it for New York-based ensemble Newspeak in 2005. It was written at a time of national and global upheaval that left many people feeling powerless and overwhelmed. Howard Zinn recently commented on the role of artists in this situation, observing that, quote, the artist transcends the immediate, transcends the here and now, transcends the madness of the world, transcends terrorism and war. She says, in writing this piece, I sought to describe the vulnerability, anger, compassion, and optimism of this unique time in history. In a way, it's like, I feel like it's appropriate for this time.
When did she write that?
2005, I think she said.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, it is weird to think about, like, the past 20 years, how much has developed.
There's something I feel, I know you love a solo instrument, like you love soloing with Bach and playing violin,
Yeah.
but I personally feel like violin is so much better when it's with other combinations of instruments.
Sure.
Like, that's what really makes the experience better for me. I actually like it better when it's not a solo violin, when it's something like this where it weaves in and they interact. Chamber music is where it's at for me.
Depending on who's playing, I guess. Like if Price is playing, it's no solo violin. Rather groups, but no.
No, Price gets the solo.
Okay.
But I mean, the reason I love Nizza Mazzoli is she writes for violin in such a vocal way. Like, right? It's almost like you could put words to the violin part.
I like that it's
wait,
perfect.
this would be a turn up moment.
Oh, really? Okay, nice.
I love
like that.
drum set.
That's cool. It's perfect that you picked this after that, actually.
Yeah.
Because there's you mentioned the slides, like
Yeah.
I think he uses it in that song. Those guys used to use they used to use bottlenecks. They would break a bottle and put the bottle like
On the
this
neck of the...
on their
on their finger.
on their finger and slide while they're playing. It's just called like a slide. Actually, Allman Brothers, Dwayne Allman, my second favorite guitarist of all time behind Hendrix. He's the best slide player in the world, like ever was. Dwayne had that, but he has that soul in it.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. It is very much like human voice, you know.
And there's something, I love this song too because of the beat. Like, there's something like poppy almost about it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, it starts to move into that world of like ensemble. Like,
Right.
is it a band? Is it a
Is it an
chamber ensemble? Is it a ensemble? Is it a band? What are you? No.
Nice. Yeah.
And I tend to gravitate towards music in general that's like inspired by minimalism.
So explain that to people who
To the,
the muggles who don't know what's
the peasants.
At IU, we used to call
Muggles.
well, that's what they used to call the people in the town, because at IU is so small in Bloomington. Like Bloomington is tiny, but the music school is so big.
Yeah.
So like you'd see all your people. You basically had your like group, and that was it. And then this like in the city, it's like whatever. It's like really like sketchy, weird area, and it's really screwed up. But like they used to refer to everybody as the townies.
Oh, I love that term though.
Really? I feel like it's kind of degrading.
Well, I think it. I'm about to like make myself look way more basic than how I have been here.
All right.
But my favorite shows is Gilmore Girls,
Oh
and they have
God.
townies.
They have
Cheers,
townies.
raise your white class to townies.
I don't know what in what context.
So they had like just like the characters and they're like, oh, it's the townie, like
Yeah.
they're townies, the muggles.
But why do they call them townies? Wouldn't they be townies too?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to really get into the plot of Gilmore Girls here.
Yeah, no. I can't even remember. It's been a while since I've been.
Like, don't get me wrong. If I needed to go into it,
I
could reach into those files and pull out.
But maybe we should move on.
Can I
Yes.
request something here?
Yeah.
This is a very serious request.
Okay.
R2 over here he's turning around looking that way, and I kind of want to fix him. Can I?
You want me to move him?
You can turn his body, and I'll hold on to his head,
To which way? Oh.
so that I can just. Yeah, I think that's better.
Well, that was really weird.
Yeah, that was. The truth is, right after I stopped filling with them, I was like, maybe I should turn it. Like, I wanted to turn them, but I couldn't.
Okay.
I was like,
He's all fixed.
it's alright.
Don't worry.
Okay.
You'll be okay. Oh my god.
Don't do that. Don't hurt R2. It's crazy.
I think his song is about over, so if you want to pick your next
Alright,
selection.
pick your battles.
What's our time frame? How long have we been at this for?
It's
you know?
8:19. Should we go for like another 10 minutes?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Do we want to play any games before, and
I kind of want to.
you want to show me something?
Yeah, I kind of want to show. I want to show you a little Dwayne Allman. That's what I want to do. From the absolute one of my favorite.
I have a really embarrassing confession to make.
What's that?
This whole time, I thought it was the Almond Brothers.
The Allman Brothers. That's kind of normal, I think.
Really?
It's probably. Yeah. I've told you about the Allman Brothers before. I'm pretty sure. We've listened to them a few times, right?
I'm not sure, honestly.
When we were on the canoe a couple times, I put them on.
I remember being on the canoe, but I do not remember.
I mean, I remember it's something that I was very proud of.
Okay.
I think
I wasn't something I was aware of.
You were like, you said something like, "Oh, I actually kind of like this. Like, what is this?" It was like one of those like, "Yeah, okay, keep that in the note there."
And this whole time I thought they were the Almond Brothers.
That's crazy. All right, but I need to find.
Are they actually brothers?
Greg and Dwayne were. Let's see what we got here. Hold on. They boy, I wanna do a nice one, but like they have long songs though, and I don't wanna. I wanna save one because.
For me or for?
Yeah, I just don't want to necessarily hit you with a 20-minute
No,
song.
I don't think I'm ready for that.
No, you're not ready for
Give
that.
me like a little digestible, maybe like Cliff Notes.
Well, I'll give you a little
Like
teaser of them,
yeah.
and maybe like okay, let's just do a classic one. Let's just do this one. Oh my god, this is so cool. 1971, live at Fillmore East. They used to play from like sundown to sun up. Like they would go along kind of. I don't know. You might not like this, but I dig. About the other guy.
I like it so far. I mean,
Really?
yeah.
See that slide?
Yeah.
He's doing that
It's
bottleneck.
like definitely blues, like oriented music.
Yeah. There's your 4 bars right there.
Oh yeah, walk me through this.
Now he repeats it. Third time, changes. I can't believe I'm following Missy Mazzoli with
You know, it's not like the biggest wave though. I think like there's something about like she repeats a lot of her musical motives. Like that song, like the melody repeated.
Yeah.
There's something that's like
That ostinato.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
Which
I
is
love
very
about
similar,
blues.
like- I think
It's
that's
like
why, like-
keeps on churning. Like it's just
yeah. I
I
love
love
that about
this
like
solo.
minimalism. I think that there is so much. I'll let you.
I gotta rock out.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, it's so good. This is what I used to do. Like, and when I was in high school, I would be up in my room just jamming out to this. Like, literally just air guitar. It's just, I don't know, it's, to me it's so expressive. And that tone. Those blue notes, they like hit it and bend them. Oh, this is cool. There's Dickie Betts and Dwayne Allman, both of them play guitar. At this point in the concert, they're like doing a guitar battle. So he goes up to him, gives him an idea. Now he plays it back. Maybe doesn't. Not liking it. I can tell. I can tell you're not digging it.
It's okay.
She's like, no. Oh, maybe that's not.
No, it's okay.
That's like.
No, I like it. I like it. No, I mean,
That's okay.
no,
See,
I like it.
it's okay. It's, you don't have to like it. It's only my favorite band of all time. No, it's second. My second favorite guitarist.
Sometimes guitar solos.
You know, yeah. It's the thing is, it's kind of like smoking good cigars or like drinking fine wine. Like you kind of have to.
I don't have the.
You kind of have to develop your taste a little bit. It's the truth. You know what I mean? Like it's true. But that doesn't mean it's like you don't have to like it. You know.
Right.
Some people don't like smoking cigars.
Some people just want to drink a White Claw.
Some people just want a White Claw. Some people just want to be basic, and that's totally fine. Like you can be. What are you talking?
I do like the trajectory though that we went on with this, like following each other's songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a.
Like it's really like I like the ties between all of them.
What I really needed to do was there longer one for you to get it, because that's when he gets into the existential stuff.
You're gonna like it just because you're gonna.
You're
be
gonna.
stuck here.
I will have you.
By minute.
If I need to tie
20.
you down and then share this with you.
I need to know which one I liked, but when we were in the canoe, that's what I really need to know.
Oh, that's a well. it's
No,
your
maybe
turn.
another time. I don't know. I
And
feel
are you-
like I might be out of things, honestly.
Well, it's about 8:30, so
I think that was a nice little.
yeah.
I can't top that. That's all I'm saying.
Boy, this was a really fascinating. It went from like a really like plastic. I would say for me, I was asking plastic questions. That's all I'm saying, because I've already asked them, and it went to like a really good thing. What as no, I don't.
Was I responding plastic?
No. I'm
Just
telling
want
you.
to talk about my band song.
I was feeling really not great about mine.
No, I liked it.
You liked it?
I like this. I thought this one was a lot more interesting. It was a more interesting conversation. Actually, I don't know. I just feel like there's something that was like more genuine about this, and picking these songs during what's happening right now.
I think
Seems right.
yeah.
It doesn't seem right for me to like play like bossa nova, like
Right.
just random.
Well, because last week I wanted to do something that coincided with the SpaceX stuff.
Right.
Because that was what was on my mind. I mean, that was what I was thinking about. And then all this stuff happened, and I mean,
it wasn't right.
Now, like, I have to be real with myself. Like, what am I thinking about right now?
Yeah.
Like, and that's what music is, man. Like that. Woman.
Doctor.
Doctor. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No, but that's what it's all about. Like, kind of like expressing yourself through this crazy language that is music, and I mean,
it's super powerful.
It really is, and I don't know. I can't not be real and not. That would be like irresponsible and wrong to like not address that. I don't know.
I think this is a wonderful way to do it. I really liked it. I feel very inspired and like, I don't know.
It's good.
I'm lucky to know you, Price.
Aww.
You're such a wonderful mind, and it's always such a fun time to talk music with you. I'm so happy.
Same with you, baby. I mean, there's something that's I don't know. I should say, like, you were the one who inspired me most to get the ball rolling on this, and that's really what it was when I saw you pitching your vlog on Instagram, and I saw like you just this free spirit, like, girl wanting to do something different and do something cool with music. I could tell like that you were on the level, and it inspired me. It really did. And seeing everything you've done with the vlog and reaching out and making moves on the Bandsamble, I'm so stoked for the direction that you're going in. And I know it's a crazy time, and I know it's like, God, it's a crazy time. And but part of, I think, the responsibility for us is to keep on doing what we know is right.
Yeah.
And when you do what you know is right, like, I think it all works out the right way. I think. I mean, who am I to know? I'm only in my 20s. Like, I don't know what life is gonna be like, but I know from what I know is that, like, usually, I don't know, I'm grateful for where I'm at right now. Even though I happen to be back in the hometown where I grew up, it's right where I needed to be to have met you and to, like, I don't know, just have
do things
going.
like this.
Yeah, this is important for me, and I really
I'm
appreciate
excited.
you being a part of it and joining me on it.
Thanks. I'm excited to tune into the next podcast to see who you bring on.
Okay, well, we'll have to
Really
see
fun.
about that, won't we? We'll have to see. Look, and as part of this, I should say to you guys, as part of this, I want this to be as much about you as it is for us. I'm not going to have hardly a whole lot of followers, I don't anticipate. I mean, I know CBS and CNN, they're begging me to come on the show and to make this thing, but, like, you know, for whatever reasons, I'm not declining to do so. Basically, the idea is, like, if you want to be on the podcast, shoot me a text or message me, and odds are you'll wind up on the podcast, because I want this to be, I really do want to build a community. I want to engage Tallahassee.
Yeah.
And I want to have people on.
And if they're not in Tallahassee, can they leave like a comment with maybe a song suggestion?
And if you're not in Tallahassee, that's okay. We can Skype, we could do a Zoom. I mean, everyone's learned how to do it now. So we can Zoom and have you on. And the idea being, like, I won't lie, I've learned a little bit from politics. Let's do a quid pro quo. You come on my show, and then I'll plug your stuff for you. Look, I mean, it's high time we start doing it. It can't just be people in Congress. Like, let's start scratching each other's backs in a communal way.
There we go.
That's wholesome and appropriate and
consensual.
Consensual. Yeah, that's the most important thing, that it's consensual. Okay, but obviously I'm not gonna just plug you if you didn't ask for it. But
you digress.
I digress here. Anyways, there's not a number of ways you can just end the podcast, but I think on that note, maybe we should just end the podcast.
This sounds good.
All right, gang. Thank you so much for chilling with Price Tag and friends, girlfriends, babies.
Girlfriend. Yes.
And hey, I hope you enjoy it. I enjoyed it, so I hope you did too. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, like, do whatever you want. Really, I won't blame you either way. Just keep on chilling.
Bye.
Peace.